Kibbe and Finnegan Show, episode 43. Dang it, this new version of Skype, I just made myself huge. I can't see you now.
I didn't know you could alter that stuff. I'm always the little person in the corner of the screen, and then, I've got your giant head in the middle of mine.
That's what I'm trying to get back to.
Oh.
I think
we had the options.
I didn't either. I just started clicking
Whatever
stuff.
you just did altered mine a little bit. It's still the same, but different.
What are your... Is it working?
You just did something. It made the little square in the upper left-hand corner with myself in it smaller. You click something, and then it made me slightly bigger.
I've been clicking everything.
No.
What's this? Oh.
Yeah, that did nothing.
Oh, okay.
You need to throw it in the gutter and go buy another. Easy.
Tell me about it. This is very frustrating. Anyway, Kibbe and Finnegan Show, episode number 53. Good to see you.
Good to be back, and
yeah, it's been a while.
Not in my truck while we record.
When was the last legit show? It probably before Thanksgiving or something.
I don't know. The last one I was in my truck driving to Illinois, and I was half asleep. So I don't know how well that one went, but I think you and Cooter,
nice.
You and Corndog, picked up the slack there on the review.
Slip of the tongue. Believe it or not, the Corndog reception was exceptional.
Cool.
He did a great job, but the
Am
fans...
I off the hook? Is that what you're saying?
I think we're both dismissed. If the fan feedback is what I think it is, they don't need us at all.
Oh, right on.
They would just prefer Corndog insider info, where he's calling out paint codes on the fly of Big Bad Orange, telling you which car is which, telling you which corner of the roll bar has a gusset in it, which one doesn't. Man, they loved it.
Guy's money.
He also said rad and cool, and what was the other word that had him say? I was trying to think of other Mike-isms.
Do I need to stop saying the word rad?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
It's endearing. It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so here we are, week before Christmas break, really.
Yeah.
Are you home for the rest of the year, or are you still roadkilling?
No, I'm home. I'm going to go do some Christmas shopping for other people, not for myself, unlike you, who I believe is currently shopping for yourself, as well as other people.
Like a madman.
We've teased people recently. We talked about buying a charger, didn't we? And it didn't happen. And now you're...
Yes.
You're looking for one.
When we left each other last, we hung up the phone. I was going to call the guy and buy that charger. It was gone. And it must have been gone even before we started recording. And dude, I swear to you, it was for sale for 4 hours.
Yeah. And that guy flipped it for $4,000 more than he paid for it immediately back on Facebook and just got barbecued for it.
We were still on when we recorded. We were dealing with the first flipper.
Right, but the second flipper flipped it immediately. I don't even think he picked the car up, and it was already on Facebook for sale, and people barbecued him because everybody knew that he had just bought it and just tacked $4,000 onto it.
And he took the same picture. He put it on the same frickin' swap page. I mean, it was a total Dwight Schrute move. I mean, he just said, "I'll take your money and I'll raise it." So he put 30% in his pocket, sold it to somebody else, and the guy that bought it, good for him, is really happy about it. But the first flipper went bananas. And he said, "How dare you do this? You don't flip this." And I mean, it's a dick move.
How can one flipper get mad at another flipper?
I don't know. You shouldn't be able to. But the first
flipper number 1 was charging us more than he paid. So what does he care that flipper number 2 is charging even more?
Well, the first flipper started saying, "Oh, by the way, that car's rotted out." And
you don't want this car now that I'm not selling it.
And I was thinking, now wait a minute. I talked to this flipper, at 8 a.m. this morning. He said it was all good and solid, just had little holes in the quarters here and there. But come to find out, no, it's real rotten. And maybe that was just him being upset. But I'd like to think that it was a totally rotten car, and it was just good fortune that we didn't get it because we're supposed to get a different one. So no fooling. I've been shopping like crazy. Business-wise, by the end of the year, if I could have an expense on the books, that would help me.
Here's the thing, right?
That would be a really good thing.
Not to just boldly cut you off and go nowhere where no man's ever gone before, but these are swap meet rules when it comes to flipping anything, right? Mm-hmm. And the swap meet rules are You show up early in the morning, right? And the flashlighters come around. Oftentimes before you even get into the swap meet. Like you're in line waiting to get into the swap meet. It's 3 a.m. Flashlighters come around, look in the bed of your truck at what you got, and they'll make you an offer right then and there. And if you're like me, you're like, hell yeah, I don't want to take this home. Take it. And you're not allowed to get mad once you get into the swap meet and set up your area with the rest of the stuff you didn't sell. When you discover the flashlighter guy is forestalled down,
selling
flipping
your stuff. That's right.
You can't get mad, right? That dude did you a favor, all right? Transportation, storage, that's expensive. So flipper number 1 should not be mad at flipper number 2 in this case. But we can all be mad at flipper number 2 for just being a douchebag.
Yeah. You can
put
still
no effort into that car at all.
You can still, call it what it is. It's a total dick move.
And you know why?
It's capitalism and it's fine. It's supposed to work that way, but
you know why? It's not a Prius. All right. It's not a Benzo.
No.
It's a Charger. This is a small community. You can't just rip off people in this community.
If this guy is a Mopar flipper, and chances are he is, it will come back around at some point. They always do.
Always does. But it's on the wheel, dude. It all comes around. You know who said that?
I feel like I should, but I don't. Can he?
Hunter, man, from Megaforce. Come on.
Are you kidding? Oh,
that's the very end of the movie.
I have dismissed that. I'm not even. I know you're baiting me too. You just
don't start kissing your thumb, okay?
I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Anyway, so you need to get an expense on the books before the end of the year.
It works on me too. I'm all upset now. I can't even think clearly. It's just such a bad movie.
But it's so bad it's good.
No, it didn't get better, man. And I've never revisited it, but I have, while I'm trying to clear pictures off my phone, I've come across that Barry Bostwick, the tighties up the butt crack. Girl. And that was probably
I don't have a single photo of Barry in my phone, and if I did, it wouldn't be the one with his cheeks, all right? So I don't know what you got going on over there, but it sounds like you're tormenting yourself.
I sent that to you so you would understand what was happening.
I blocked you shortly thereafter.
Okay. New topic.
I feel so horrible for you right now because you literally have to go out and buy yourself a 1969 Dodge Charger in order to have spent enough money for your business to not get taxed into oblivion.
I'm it truly is like a spend 20 to save 10 type thing. But I just have a problem paying more than I need to pay. And really, what I just totally bought myself into mentally after our last show is how freaking awesome it would be if we could share this car in this show and do cool things with it. And I just kind of decided that's a cool move. That's the right thing to do. So what my plan here is I need to find a car and get it on expense. We'll figure out a way to split it later. Or I can just own it and you can jump it. I don't care. We just need to have it. And so last night I started playing the Craigslist game. And I use Search Tempest. That's my Craigslist search engine of choice because it allows you to search all of Craigslist. Whittled it down to 2. And you can usually tell like a too good to be true posting when you see it. But every now and then I just can't help myself. So there was this 69, looked like a 383 car, blue, nice vinyl top, good interior, real clean underneath, listed for 20 in somewhere in South Carolina. I forget where. And there was an email and a phone number.
Road trip.
So I just text the guy, and it's like the car's listed in South Carolina. It's a California number. I text the guy, and it's already, the jig is up like with his first reply. Like this is not legit. This is either a stolen car or he's a wacko trying to kill me at night. I don't know.
Right.
But it was getting entertaining, so I just kept going. So I said, "This is the."
Did you record it?
No. It's just all text messages. I can send them to you.
Oh yeah.
So the first thing he does is I say, "Yeah, I'm interested in this car. Can you get me some more info on it, like the VIN or the fender tag or something like that?" And he says, "Sure, let me get you the VIN." And he texts me the VIN. He texts me the VIN for a '68 RT. that's weird. So I tell him, like, that's the VIN for a 68 RT. Are you sure that's the right car? And he goes, oh, sorry, that was the wrong car. And then from then on, his only question was, how much did I want to pay for it, and could he ship it to me right now? And I was, and we
and can you write him a check for more than he's asking, and he'll send you the difference back?
His next question after that was, how much would you like to offer for the car? I said, the listing says 20. I didn't tell him anything other than that, and I already knew it was fake. So we just kept going back and forth, and he would never send me the VIN. There were no more pictures. The car's in Austin, apparently. He said, but I'll just ship it to you, and if you like it, when it gets there, you just pay me. Like, no, This is craziness. So I said, I'll send somebody to Austin to check the car out, but first you got to give me the VIN. And that's the last one. He stopped at that point. That was my Charger saga last night. It was 30 minutes of time. I had a beer. It was as entertaining as I could get. But I did find the guy in Cedar Rapids who I've mentioned to you before, who has a 69 Charger, generally painted up, for sale. And I had lost his number, but I found it last night and I called him and it's still there. So I'm going to see if I can go look at it over Christmas break. It's too nice a car. Probably it's way more money than I'm looking to spend. But it's,
how much is he asking?
He's looking more in the like 40 to 45 range. Looking at the car, it's probably too nice a car for what we want to do. But it was cool to at least talk to the guy that had it. He sent me a video of him driving it around a field. He said he rubbed it in radiator out doing it. Anyway, that's what I'm working on. So between now and the end of the year, hopefully we can get this done. If I can't do that, I got to go buy a bunch of printers or something. I just need an expense. I'd rather have a cool car.
Don't buy a toner. Buy a charger.
You want to hear some iTunes reviews? We haven't done this in a while. I feel like I owe people something. So here's this first one. This is from Javelin390 SST, which is a super cool username. He says, have you ever had greasy fingerprints on your cell phone as you text car dreams and bad jokes while working in the garage? Or sit in a sports bar talking horsepower ratings and spotting one-lighters from the 80s? That's the Kibbe and Finnegan show, but it's safe for the workplace. Keep it up. That's what he says.
Nice.
This is a good one. DJ Hamilton. He says, this podcast is great. After I began listening to Kibbe and Finnegan, I lost 20 pounds. My child started doing homework every night. My dogs started following commands, and I noticed more attention from the ladies. In fact, double-blind studies show that listening to Kibbe and Finnegan can regrow hair, cure polio, and even cure uneven tire wear. Your results may vary. Kibbe and Finnegan isn't for everyone. If you drive a Prius, ride a fix-gear bicycle, or eat kale, ask your holistic medical professional if Kibbe and Finnegan is right for you. That dude needs a t-shirt. DJ Hamilton, send me your email. Prove it's you somehow. Don't let this
distract you from the fact that Hector is running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. Okay? And he just went into Harry's and ordered 2 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec system exhaust. Don't let that distract you.
I didn't mind that movie. We're okay on that one. Whatever game you're trying to pull here, that one was fine.
It's automotive karma. It's on the wheel, baby. It all comes around.
Wait, is that from Fast and Furious, or is that from the...
No. It's from...
Here's the last one. This is from David Freiberger. David Freiberger says, love this show. We should get this handsome devil Kibbe on Roadkill. What do you think?
I think he needs spectacles.
I think that one's made up.
It's better than... hold on. Let me go to Facebook here. And I don't know if I want to give this guy any press for the things he says to me. But there's a guy on Facebook who messages me almost daily about you. And I'm not going to say his name.
I think you've mentioned this before.
Yeah. He did it again. And I'm like, did you forget you've already said this 100 times? Like, yeah, we're not even going there. But there's some guy that messages me almost daily about you and how that you have wrecked my career. When, honestly, I think I've done a pretty damn good job of doing that myself. So,
wow.
Nameless, faceless guy, suck it. Kibbe's here to stay.
I have seen the comments about me being sickly and albino. And
there's a contrast button. I mean, there's a lightning spot.
I remember, like,
turn it way down, dude. You look tan to me.
When I got my first, like, hater comments, and this was way back in the day, like, they truly hurt. Like, ow. Because I was taking them, like, for real. Like, because sometimes there can be some truth in them that you can learn from. But after a while, I realized how to tell the difference between just a nut job hater and somebody who just sucks at giving you good criticism.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I hear you. I'm going to shave my back now.
Yes.
Right.
It broke my wife's heart to read some things, like when we first started doing stuff together, but I tried to tell her, no, it's the internet. They're nuts.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's okay. They're, you know.
Sometimes they're right, but usually they're nuts.
They're anonymous, so they can say whatever they want. But, you know, sometimes they're right. Like, new, or not new, but old episodes of Roadkill the last few weeks have been appearing on Velocity Channel.
I've been recording.
And they're way old. And we talked about this earlier, how, you know, I didn't have a beard back then. I just had what can only be described as a muskrat or a ferret on my chin. And, you know, nobody ever said, hey, man, it's not a good look for you. And in hindsight, I'm like, wow, yeah. Not sure what I was thinking back then, but okay.
I have DVR'd them because I want to support Roadkill, of course. And I didn't actually watch Roadkill for quite a while. And in fact, one of the first ones I saw was that Charger at Dirtfish, which of course was simpatico. Like, I don't know who these guys are, but I love these guys.
And so clearly they can drive.
Yeah, true. I thought it was great. So then when I see some of these early episodes, you're just like a remarkably different looking but same sounding person without the beard. It is very different. It's surprising how different it can be. Like, have you ever thought about going back to that look?
Oh, that?
Or just doing like a bandit stash or something like that?
No, see, the problem with me is, you know, beyond the fact that I have chicken legs and, you know, I'm part Yeti, but there's another chin under there that my wife never wants to meet again.
Uh-huh.
And she's been very clear about this. And so the beard has to stay, or the goatee. And as it turns out, when I go back and I look at those old ones where I just rocked a goatee, it really wasn't a good look for me. You know, that you want to feel bad about yourself, have somebody film you and put it on a big screen, and you'll be like, wow, I need to get to the gym, or hey, I need to shave my face. You know,
I should probably
all your flaws will become readily apparent in 4K.
Is that what they shoot it in?
Nah, back then it was probably 480. I have no idea, but I think Roadkill was always shot in HD, but whether it was 720 or 1080 in the beginning, I don't know. We had like a $2 budget back then.
It looks good on TV.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and it plays well. However, they edit it is not that distracting. I guess
the editing on Roadkill is fantastic. It always has been. We've had the best editors over the years, and there haven't been that many. You know, it's been kind of like the same 4 or 5 people, and for the bulk of the episodes, it's been, you know, 1 or 2 guys. So I think Clint Stringfellow has edited probably more than anybody, and he's a master at bringing the funny.
Is he on site when you're taping, or does he get it all after the fact and just stitch
Well, this
is
how it started. In the beginning, Roadkill, there would be 2 camera guys that followed us, and one of them was probably the guy editing it. And in the beginning, that was Clint. Clint was one of the guys filming. Mm. So he knew everything that happened on a shoot. And these days, the editor is not there because he's busy editing the previous episode. But we still shoot them one at a time. So it's still 2 camera guys, maybe 3 that go with us, and they film and then send all the footage back home, and somebody else watches it all and edits it into something cool.
So it's like a story maker, because I mean, you must get volumes of footage to shoot one episode and use 30% of it, I would assume.
Yeah, it's a crappy job, I think, because you're not there. You'll get some notes from, you know, whoever's around the shoot. But then you've got to watch through hours and hours of footage. Like, imagine, like, if we're about to jump something, or, you know, attempt to drive on 2 wheels or something.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the cab of the car will be 3 GoPro cameras, and then outside of the car, stuck to the car, there's a few more. Then you have the 2 guys on the side of the road filming. So there's 9 or 10 cameras for a 5-minute segment that, you know, are all rolling at once, and you have to watch all of them to find the funny.
And are they synced?
And good luck.
Like, do they have like a timestamp in them, or is it just like, here's the footage, good luck?
I don't know how that works, but we, you know, sometimes we clap in front of the camera. There's audio, separate audio is rolling while the video is going. We were wireless mic transmitters that go to a separate audio recording device. And I don't know how all that works as far as the editor. But not an easy job. It really isn't. But
no.
People we've had have been really good at it.
But it's entertaining.
I hope so.
Yeah. Have you heard of Facebook Watch?
Is that Facebook for creators thing?
Kinda. I just got a pretty good explanation from it from our video guy, Michael, this morning.
Facebook's trying to get to the television business, so that's probably what that is.
They are. He suggested we start putting some of these episodes there. So
all right,
if we can,
let's do it.
I think we should. Would you like to do a Christmas game or a What's Burning Bernie? Or both?
Let's do both. Let's do both. More corn dog.
More corn dog. People did like corn dog. One guy even suggested we get him a third microphone. Not you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. How many does he have down in the hole?
Let's do the 12 Days of Christmas. This is the John Denver Muppets edition. That was the only one I could find as background music here, so hopefully it's not too
I have so many good versions of this song on my phone.
Do you really?
Alan Sherman has got one of the best ones.
That's a good one. I really loved the Mackenzies. You know,
yeah. Put on my thinking toque.
Thinking, you know, beer.
On the first day of Christmas, that you gave to me. Beer.
In a tree.
In a tree.
Yeah.
That's an awesome version.
Toques, 12 pounds of
Strange Brew. Good movie. Underrated. People need to watch that.
Very good movie. Okay, here it is. NBCnews.com. This is the actual cost in today's dollars of the 12 Days of Christmas. So the price of turtle doves, that's where we're going to start here, is one of the big factors. But it says, here's what NBC News says. It says, the price of turtle doves taking flight along with the cost of musicians marching upwards has caused the overall tally of the 12 gifts listed in the carol to bump up to a total cost of $34,000, according to the 33rd Annual Wealth Management Christmas Price Index. So,
on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a Japanese transistor radio.
Oh, I know this.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me green polka dot pajamas and a Japanese transistor radio. It's a Nakashima. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a calendar book with the name of my insurance man. Green polka dot pajamas and a Japanese transistor radio. It's the Mark IV model. That's the one that's discontinued.
Okay. I won't go all the way to 12, but it's hilarious.
Is this the one where he freaks out, like, with all the lights tangled up later? Or is that
no, that's another one that I got on there.
That's another good one.
Fine, you hang up the light. That guy's awesome.
One light goes out, they all go out.
Wait, now I have to find that one. Where is it?
While you do that, I'm going to queue up Burning Bernie. Burning Bernie is burning back.
It's another edition of Burning Questions with Bernie, the 3 questions answering the question of, what were those questions again? If you've got one, you can submit it by email at robert@themusclecarplace.com. That's robert@themusclecarplace.com. And first, we start off with an email. Yeah, we got another email. That's cool. This is from Gus. Gus says, Dear Rob, what are the odds that you or Finnegan would go to this classic late model car show in Wisconsin called the Milwaukee Concours d'Elegance, or the Concours d'Elegance? I'm taking French. Does it show? There's a lot of classic and late model cars from the 30s all the way up to 2018 models. He says he saw a 2017 Ford GT and a prototype Land Rover. I think it would be very interesting for you or Mike to see it. Keep up the great work for the show. Hope all goes well in the next month going into next year. Thanks, Gus. Good letter. Well, part one of that is, before you guys answer, they probably wouldn't let us in the door. There's probably posters outside keeping us from getting in. Otherwise, sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a good show. What do you think?
I'll admit that the whole time he was talking, I was looking for that song, so you go ahead and answer.
What was it? I think it was the Concord Elegance in Milwaukee.
Cheese curds. What about it?
Would we go?
Oh, to a car show?
Yeah.
I like car shows.
Yes. The answer is yes. We're in. It really just depends when it is. That's pretty much all I work around anymore is when stuff is. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Moving on.
Number 2.
Question number 2 for Rob. Would you please email me the credit card information again? Barrett-Jackson's coming up in January. We've got to get the suite ready. We've got to get refreshments ordered. Room service, we're running out of time. You are coming, right? Or not? Again?
No on the credit card, maybe on the auction. Yes. Have you been to Barrett-Jackson before?
Never been.
I've gone a couple times. Okay. Here's a good Dukes of Hazzard segue for you. The time that I went was the same year that Lee 1 was there. And it was the year that Bubba Watson bought it during the auction.
What did it go for?
Not a lot, like 120, something like that. The guy that sold it, though, probably thought he was going to do far better. And he probably spent far more restoring it. So this was Lee 1. This was the car that was drug out of the Georgia junkyard. It was, one of the cars that was used in the Georgia episodes, first episode.
It was like blue when they found it, right?
Yeah, because it was used in one-armed band. No, sorry, Repo Men as the wrecked Richard Petty race car.
Right.
So it was all blue, and then when they threw it in the junkyard, it was still blue. But when the guys found it there, it was there. It was missing stuff. Had an engine. It had drivetrain in it, though. And they could verify it was Lee 1. It still said Lee 1 on the dashboard and everything. So they got it. There's a huge saga around whether what's left of Lee 1 is really Lee 1. Because a lot of the car got stitched together with a lot of other cars. Like even the roof skin was replaced. I mean, a lot of stuff changed. But it was there at Barrett-Jackson. And I ended up interviewing one of the guys that helped with the restoration. Jim Shine is his name. And it ended up being kind of an interesting video. Like, I didn't even make videos. We just recorded it for fun. I think it's got like 50,000 hits because it's just me walking around this restored Lee 1 with Jim Shine. And he's showing me stuff under the hood. Like, all right, here's where the nose crunched right here. And it's right above the shock tower. As you can see, it's all bent. Now it's been hammered back down. The interior was pretty much legit. It was the real dash in it, the real steering wheel. They had redone the roll cage, I believe, and Corn Dog is going to correct a lot of these things. But it was, let's just say it was Lee 1. And it was cool to have seen it there. I wasn't there when it went across the block, but I was there to see it, and I thought it was kind of cool. Barrett-Jackson was a hoot. Like, I had a media pass, so I got to walk across the block, like a big deal. Like, and I was just on like a tour with like the one media girl that was there. Mm-hmm. That was fun. The party is epic. And it's a party. I mean, most of the people there are not buying or selling cars. They're there for the entertainment. It is a huge city of people selling stuff. Like, you want to go get yourself a Velvet Elvis painting, like with lights in it, you can get it. You want to get yourself, a 55 Benz with a new Benz drivetrain, it's there. Everything. It's pretty cool. It's worth going to once if you're in.
And is it in multiple places, or is it always in Scottsdale?
The big one, well, the probably the most famous one is in Scottsdale. So in January in Scottsdale, all the auction companies lay out a big auction. RM, Barrett-Jackson, tons of them. They all do that. Barrett-Jackson's the famous one because it's on TV. And it's more the Vegas show than anything else. They have several. There's another one in Vegas, I believe. There's one in maybe Palmdale. I don't know. They do something.
Palmdale.
Bernie goes
Come
every
back to me. I need you when I love. Sorry. It's Afro Man. It's a good song.
You have a very eclectic music library.
I like music a lot.
And question number 3, which is more of a request than a question, but in your movie review lineup, I know you've got several ahead of me, but would you please review The Punisher? I think that would be a lot of fun. From 2004, the Marvel Comics remake with Frank Castle. Great movie. Plus, there's a hot GTO and a pretty sweet Mopar in it, too.
What was the first part of the question? I heard the last part, the Punisher.
He said it's a personal request, which I thought the last one was a personal request, the whole credit card thing. He wants us to review The Punisher, which I've actually never seen that.
I haven't either. We have a listener who has a Punisher GTO with an LS in it that I met on Power Tour, though. And that was a really cool car. Yeah,
I haven't seen a lot of the superhero movies. I've seen several of them, but I don't know. I just not into the superhero stuff so much. And the last Batman movie really just kind of killed it for me because that just sucked.
Did you like the ones that were directed by Chris Nolan?
That'd be the last one he did with Keith Ledger before he died?
That's the right
Heath
series. Heath Ledger, that was the second one. There was one more after that.
It was?
Who was Batman?
Whatever the last Batman one was. Or no, it was Batman versus Superman. That's what it was. That sucked. That was just a depressing movie. The Justice League, the one that's the follow-up to that, that's out now. I haven't seen that. I'll rent that one. I will say, I think the Marvel movies are more entertaining. They're funny, like really funny. I've heard the new Thor movie's mostly just a comedy. That's cool. The Iron Mans were all hilarious. Those were great movies.
Yeah, totally. Jon Favreau directed those. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, if you get some time to waste, go on YouTube and look up a Jon Favreau series called I think it's Dinner for Five, and it's from I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and it's him hosting dinners at nice restaurants with like 4 other celebrities, and the mix of people they get down at one table is pretty awesome, and the conversation's pretty good. It's not totally fluff, I guess, for lack of a better term. So
I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie Chef? That's another Jon Favreau movie. If you find that on Netflix, watch that. It's like food porn. You will leave like just thinking, I really need to step up my game in the kind of food I'm preparing every night. Oh. And it's really a funny story. Iron Man's in it too. Robert Downey Jr. is in it, and he ends up getting a food truck and takes a trip from Florida back to L.A. because in L.A. he was like a 5-star chef restaurant guy. He got fired. And he goes to Florida, picks up a food truck, starts making Cubanos on the way home with one of his other chefs and his 10-year-old son. And every city they stop in, they try out different recipes. And then by the time they get back, life is great again. It's a good movie. You'd really like it. All
solved on the highway.
Yeah, I've told a lot of people, but everybody has really enjoyed it. So,
all of my great ideas happen when I'm driving and nobody's around. It's when I get to think. But everything.
Me too. Let me kill Bernie here. Sorry, Bernie.
Stubby Bob. That idea came to me while I was driving.
Really?
Yeah, I was driving, I think, the ramp truck home from California after I bought it to Georgia. And I was thinking about things I wanted to build, and Stubby Bob becoming much shorter came to me while I was driving. All my good ideas happen while I'm driving. And if I don't write them down, I forget them.
Do you have any others that you did write down?
Yeah, they're on video for Roadkill. But, yeah, the twin-turbo motorhome going to Glamis Sand Dunes, that came to me while I was driving. And treadmill. That's the other time I get to think of things.
The what?
The treadmill. Occasionally I go to the gym, sometimes.
Oh. Do you do the stair climb routine? Do you do the old set it on 7 miles an hour, or what do you do?
I don't go often enough, so I just do something different every time so as not to get bored. So I don't go on the damn treadmill every time because that's the most boring thing ever. Because they put the TV screen too close to you. Mm-hmm. Like it's just way too close to actually watch when you're running and bouncing up and down. So pretty much I'm staring ahead over the top of the TV screen at the wall thinking about cars the whole time.
I gave up the treadmill. I do like to run, but I got to run outside. I can't do the treadmill.
Yeah, treadmills are lame.
I also can't run without music.
Because music, treadmills, and running in general. Jesus,
it's just not that fun.
No, it's really not.
And there you have it, the post-SEMA Feet Still Hurting edition of Burning Questions with Bernie. If you have one you'd like to submit, please do at robert@themusclecarplace.com, robert@themusclecarplace.com. Why robert@themusclecarplace.com, you ask? Why don't you have your own email address? Well, I do.
Oop, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong closer.
SEMA was a long
Seems like
time ago.
I've heard this before. Bernie goes to all the effort to put these together, and I think I copied in a couple of the wrong ones. But anyway, good work, Bernie. We love you very much. Should we get to the Dukes of Hazzard review?
Why not?
And we have a good one. This is one of my personal favorites. This is not a top 10. This is a top 5. This is Season 3, Episode 13, Duke versus Duke. Written by William Rayner and Miles Wilder. Directed by the genius Paul Baxley. This is the stunt coordinator behind the Dukes of Hazzard, which is probably one of the many reasons why this episode rocks. Original air date January 23rd, 1981. Mike, what is your Super Show review of this truly amazing piece of Americana?
Oh my God. Might be the best one yet. Probably the best one yet. And like you, I credit Mr. Baxley for all of this. Because when your stunt coordinator is your director, great things happen. Like beginning the episode with a General Lee jump, ending the episode with a General Lee on 2 wheels, jumping, nitrous oxide, fist fights. I mean, wow. It's just
everything
awesome.
you want.
The whole episode is killer. And it's a really good story because basically the annual Hazard Derby rolls around. Boss Hogg has a scheme to get his hands on all of the hot cars that are entered. And what he does is he creates an entry form with some really small fine print at the bottom that states if you lose the race, you lose your car. And of course, the Dukes unwittingly sign up the General Lee, and it's in peril. And he hedges his bet by installing nitrous into Roscoe's patrol car, which he thinks will guarantee victory.
That devil.
He hooks up with a really shady family. Mother and sons, Ma Harper, and they're in on it, betting against the Dukes and everyone else that their guys will win. And the whole episode, man, it's just, think of the number of cars that are in here that are actually cool. Like Cooter's entered in the race, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a Chevelle with a quote-unquote Cale Yarborough engine, which is, I think, redneck speak for a big block Chevy with gold Moroso valve covers and a polished Wine tunnel ram and twin thermal quads on top and an XL super coil. I mean, it's hot, right? And is that on the hood of the Chevelle? Is that an L88 style hood? Is that the terminology?
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's certainly not a hood that Chevy would have ever put on that car, but it looks like an L88, but it's very, very tall. So it's just some aftermarket hood with holes in it for the 2 stacks to push through.
Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, I digress. So here's the plot. We've got the race. It's fixed. Cooter's going to race his own car, which he paid for by taking a second out on his house, his shop, everything. Oh. And he breaks his foot trying to help the Dukes. So now the Dukes have to race Cooter's car. So you've got Bo driving the General Lee. You've got Luke driving Cooter's Chevelle. You've got a whole slew of other cars entered that are really cool. 2nd-gen Camaro, 2nd-gen Mustang. It just, the scenery, even around the race, as they're rounding corners, you see like a mid-50s Ford truck. I mean, there's just cool stuff everywhere. And the thing ends in spectacular fashion with jumps and racing and door banging. And Bo crossing the finish line backwards in the General Lee. I mean, it's just, it's good. It's so good that whatever shenanigans are present, I'm ignoring them completely. And then
there are several.
And I definitely want to hear what Corndog has to say about this, because there's a scene before the race where the hood of the General Lee is open, and it has chrome hood hinges and springs, and what looks like a chrome upper radiator shroud, and just stuff I'd never seen before on a General Lee, and I'd love to know all about that. So, with that said, 9 out of 10 fairground footlong truck stop eating corn dogs.
Excellent review. Oh, man, this is seeing this episode again, which I have not seen in a long time, refreshed my memory about not only why I like this show so much, but it was one of these times like I realized something in here that totally influenced my life. This might be the episode that set me up as a kid to wholeheartedly believe that the real measure of a man of like awesome studliness was not throwing a football, was not being a rock star. It was being a dude who could freaking drive, like the best driver. The dude who could wheel his car better than anybody else, hang the tail out more, survive the landing more. And I thoroughly believe that's still why I think that's the coolest stuff. Like when in high school, I didn't play sports because I didn't care about that stuff, but I damn well drove like a madman. And I didn't have any really car buddies either. Like I was it. It was if people wanted to ride, if they want to go anywhere, it was just me. So this is one of these episodes that just makes my heart smile. I did. I loved it. It's also the first one, I think, ever where we see Bo and Luke truly compete against something. And you realize to them like how much driving is important. It's the only thing that they really measure themselves by against each other. It's just who can wheel it better. I got some other notes in here. This is another episode I kind of noticed where the General Lee is really solidified. It's not a prop. It's a character. I mean, it may as well be a horse. It's more than a car. It's a person to people. This is an episode where we see Al Wyatt Jr. in it, a stunt man doing some acting, and he's the junior. He's the biggest of the dumb Ma Harper kids, but he's also the man that makes the General Lee drive like the General Lee.
He stunt doubles for Bo, right? He's the big blonde-haired guy?
He does, and when you see those two next to each other, you realize they're completely different other than they have blonde hair. Yeah. And I know when Al Wyatt drove, the only thing he did was he put on the Bo shirt, and he was like, he's actually like Freiberger. It was shorts and sandals. Like, he did all of his stunts in flip-flops, every one of them, jumping cars in flip-flops. The Chevelle, we're going to see that Chevelle so many times. It's a 68 Chevelle. It has that kind of weird stacked hood on it. It's got a roll cage in it. It's got a gutted interior in it. And I have seen that car in another episode. In fact, Sonny Schroyer's Facebook page is posting like the first few minutes of Enos, the TV series. And I don't even remember that show, but he pulls up in that Chevelle and it's all blacked out. But that's his personal car that he drives around LA, is that 68 Chevelle. And then I'm pretty sure the Chevelle is going to show up in a couple seasons in a different episode, and it's going to be a different color. What else did I have in here? And the police cars look bald to me without the light bar on them. They just look weird.
Yeah.
Totally weird.
He's the gumball on top.
Here's Corn Dog's insider analysis. He is going to provide you all the answers you seek about Underhood of the General Lee. It is covered. Ooh. Covered in spades. Here's what he says. This was always one of my favorite Dukes episodes. I would guess it would be somewhere in the top 5 for me. The episode is a slam full episode of car chases and stunts. There were so many jumps, crashes, pipe ramp jumps, I lost count. Better yet, the whole episode was based around cars and racing. Al Wyatt Jr. got plenty of airtime doing stunts and playing the role of Junior. On top of all this, I have Sorrel Book's personal script for the episode.
Wow.
He texted it to me, and like Sorrel Book would change his lines in there. Like he'd just handwrite in his lines.
Oh, that's cool.
Guess what? Guess how he refers to the General Lee in there. And like if the script says General Lee somewhere, he changes
clunker.
It. Yes.
It's a clunker. Yeah.
Orange clunker car.
Orange clunker.
That's his. Oh, and it's even handwritten in there. I'll text it to you. It's awesome. A couple things that I want to point out from this episode at the 8:24 mark. When Ma Harper is shuffling the cards, you might notice that someone else's hands were used for those scenes. I never heard for certain, but John Schneider grew up doing magic shows and card tricks. It wouldn't surprise me if those were actually his hands. Kind of interesting. 23:44 mark. Here you go. Start listening very closely.
Wait. Go back.
Yeah.
Remember the episode where there was a rolling casino inside of a semi?
Yes.
And Uncle Jesse had to go in there and try and win the money back?
Yeah.
When he was shuffling the cards, it was someone else's hand.
For sure.
I wonder whose hands were in that episode, and were they the same hands in this episode, and was it Bo both times?
We'll have to go back.
Dun, dun, dun! Who knows? Send us an email.
Send us an email. Out. 23:44 mark. When Bo walks out of the house and finds Luke under the hood of the General Lee, I believe this is the first time we see one of the designated hero General Lees. This car is more than likely WGL1 owned today by Wayne Wooten, or WGL2, which is the only General Lee still owned by Warner Brothers, and is sitting in storage. Notice that it has chrome hood hinges, chrome upper grille latch tray, blue radiator hoses, heavy-duty hoses that were removed from the 440 powered police cars, braided fuel lines, blue plug wires, and polished upper tank on the radiator. These cars would continue to be used for the majority of the detailed engine shots for the rest of the series. So yeah, this was totally dressed up. And I remember seeing these scenes and thinking that all Chargers had that kind of chrome stuff around the grill.
Right.
They don't. Like, I remember how surprised I was when I saw the first one. Like, where's the good stuff? I thought they just all did this. 2940 mark. When Bo and Luke jump to General Lee while pursuing Ma Harper in Cooter's car, you can see the camera hanging off the driver's side of the car. He's right. And that Charger takes a stumble when it crashes. It blows up. 3418 mark. When Luke warns Bo about the drop-off and the General Lee smacks the ground, this was a fairly violent landing. You can actually see the tail end of the car kicked up in the air from the impact. And this is when it does its drop-off into, like, the rocks. That section, it gets pretty beat up. 4618 mark. When Bo says that his forward gears are out and he puts the car in reverse, you can see that this car is an RT from the badge on the taillight panel. Finally, the first two photos that I'm attaching, I sent these to you last week because in the background you can see the police car that was cut in half in the Legacy episode. The two General Lees that you see here were used a lot throughout this episode of Duke vs. Duke. Notice that the RT is on the left and still has the damage to the rear valence panel. There was also another 69 Charger frequently used in this episode, and it sticks out a lot. You'll notice the painted rocker trim moldings on that car. And he calls his own number here. He says, I rate this one a 10 of myself out of 10. 10 out of 10 Corn Dogs right there. Nice. I love this one. I'm giving this also a 10 out of 10 Corn Dogs. I think it's perfect.
Ew.
This is a freaking good show. And the next one, oh man, it's so good.
Don't tell me. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Okay, I will tell you now. Do you want to do something Christmas related here? We still got another show to put out before Christmas.
Sure.
I think we did the Dukes of Hazzard Christmas episode like a year ago. Want to do Christmas Vacation? We got to do something.
Let's do Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Out of all Christmas movies, what is in your go-to, your must-watch every year list?
I mean, God, we have like 10 of them that I watch every year, no matter what. Die Hard, because that's a Christmas movie. Lethal Weapon, also a Christmas movie.
Yep.
Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, White Christmas, Garfield's Christmas Special. Kids love that one. Charlie Brown Christmas, also a good one. Home for the Holidays.
Oh, is that the kid from Home Improvement?
No. Robert Downey Jr. is in it. Dylan McDermott, is that who's in it along with him? Holly Hunter, I think is the name of the woman that's in it. Oh, no, it's one of my wife's favorite movies.
Check that one out.
It's pretty cool. What else? I don't know, but those are up there. Those are all up there.
We do a number of those, and I like Christmas movies way more than my wife. She doesn't care. Like there's a few that we got to do, but yeah, Christmas Vacation is always a must. Elf is on a lot. There's a couple of Disney Pixar ones that I really like. It's like Lanny and some other elf.
I haven't seen that one.
They're really good. They're 30-minute. They're made for TV, but they're 30-minute clips about the elves that go prepare the house ahead of time, and it's so awesome. So the way it works.
Oh, the Grinch, dude, the original Grinch.
Oh yeah, the original Grinch,
not the disaster.
The Jim Carrey one.
Not that one. Not that. That one's just disturbing. Yeah, the Grinch needs to be a cartoon. That's disturbing to see. Live action Grinch.
You ever seen Santa Claus the movie?
Yeah, I think I saw the first one. I don't know if I saw any of the other four. Tim Allen made a few of those.
There's also a Christmas
Fred
story.
Claus is pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. A Christmas story we have on probably like TBS TNT run a 24-hour marathon.
Yeah,
I always leave
gets old.
I always leave one TV on just for that.
I just saw an ad. They're remaking it live on.
Yeah, I'm fire. I'm gonna watch it Sunday night.
Yeah, whoever did Grease, whatever that channel did that did Grease live, is doing a Christmas story. So check that out.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. We'll do Christmas Vacation next week. If you'd like to buy yourself a Christmas shirt, you still have time. Go to kfshowshirts.com and get a generally awesome Santa shirt with Santa in a very quick sleigh. Doing quite well.
Generally speaking.
Generally speaking. I think we even have hoodies too. Oh, people gave me the play-by-play on you at PRI. I got texts from people who were passing you driving with Blasphemy in tow. I got a picture of you talking to somebody else at PRI. You texted me that video of you talking to the dude at the bar who was from Wisconsin that was like 5 miles away from Tom Wopat's hometown.
Okay, because I was drinking and I don't remember the context or what the conversation was about, but it was a drag week competitor, and I'm brain farting on his name, but he was telling me something that you needed to hear, and I was too drunk to relay the message, which is why I made the video, and I keep forgetting to watch it, but
it's entertaining.
Yeah. You know what sucks is he told the story no less than 3 times, because the first 2 times I kept forgetting to turn on the recorder.
Okay. Go.
So the one you got was the 3rd time I finally videoed him selling the story. I think the 2nd time was probably the funniest, but we don't have that.
Well, I've realized I've missed like so many Facebook messages. He had written us like 6 months ago and emailed us that story through Facebook.
Oh.
So I was going through this like, this is like uncomfortably weird voodoo. Is this the same dude? So I wrote him. He goes, yeah, that's totally me. So I asked him if that charger is still there. The Tom Wopat charger. But yes, I was getting the, hey, Finnegan's heading to the bathroom. Just wanted to let you know. Hey, Finnegan's over here. He's doing just fine.
Oh my God, that's weird.
Well, I made the bathroom one up, but just wanted to get the gist of it. Anyway, kfshowshirts.com is where you go to get a shirt. You can find us on Instagram. You can find Mike in all the normal places. You want to share them all? I'm sure it helps.
Sure. On Instagram, I am at Finnegan999. On Twitter, at MikeFinnegan999. And on Facebook, at MikeFinnegan/news.
And you can find me at themusclecarplace.com. You can email me from there. You can do everything you need to do. And you can find all these shows in their native form as well. If you get in iTunes, please leave a rating. They all help. Thank you for listening. Mike, I will catch you for the Christmas show.
Word.